Hi guys, welcome to Robin Hood Diaries this evening. Let's skip the pleasantries, my cherished viewers, and cut to the chase. It's time to feed the lions today, and I got some fucking raw meat. I actually have some star-studded raw meat for y'all today. So let's begin. This starts in and around the time that I was having a brief affair with Timothy Patrick Murphy. Y'all look him up. He was a well-known actor who passed from HIV. Key to the end of the story. So after that wrapped up, and by the way, if y'all don't remember me and knew him, let's just say it happened after hours, okay? So just, let's sweep all that out of the side. To the side. So I'm in Neiman Marcus, and I'm with my mother, for a jillion one reasons that y'all have heard about from other videos. And I meet, legitimately, this adorable young gentleman who is at Neiman Marcus with someone. We struck up a conversation at the bottom of the escalator while our partners, our friends, were elsewhere. So we arranged, there's an obvious chemistry. We arranged for me to take him out to dinner. So we exchanged phone numbers. So cut to that night. So I come to pick him up for dinner in Laurel Canyon. And I walk in the door. There are two people I do not know. There is a director I do know who shall remain nameless. There is a television writer, female, that I knew, who knew me, who shall remain nameless. And there was a producer. No, I'm sorry. This was an actress, an aspiring actress. Okay, 3 people. These 3 people also knew my agent. And rumor has it, alleged, that this director, this television writer, and this actress had been at dinner one evening, day, who the fuck cares? And my name came up, and the so-and-so of the 3 said, oh, better not bend over in the kitchen. Now do the logic, do the math on that one. My agent was there, allegedly. So I'm now there to pick him up for dinner. They know me, I know them. We leave. His name, let's say, was, I don't know, David. So David and I leave, and we go to dinner. And there's an attraction there, there's chemistry that kind of overrode, because I didn't really tell him much about whatever. It was kind of like a halvesies thing. It was kind of more important to have dinner and that kind of thing. By the way, if you were, not that anything, has anything to do with anything, but if you were a film director, an aspiring actress, or a television writer who lived in Laurel Canyon, in somewhere around the late 80s-ish, you may recognize this story. What do you know? So, I make the mistake of staying overnight one night, which I really shouldn't have done, but what are you gonna do, right? You're dating somebody. We were not in love. We certainly loved each other and cared very much about each other. We, in fact, I was just there to sleep over. I leave. He calls me. And he says, because I slept over and now they're sure he's gay, this is within the context of AIDS, where it was not at in this period of time. Do the math. So they tell him they're terrified that they may have caught AIDS from the guest bathroom that they were letting him use. And therefore he had to be out within 24 hours. So I had to go up with a car, I think it was like a hatchback Accord I had, and load his bed, I mean literally, and all of his stuff into my car because we had a time clock. So, fuck them. Excuse me, YouTube, please. So, we go, he has nowhere to go. I have a spare room in my home that I owned and was driven into dust by my mother. Long story. Some other show. So I move him into the spare room that's sort of at the tail end of my house. It was an add-on, kind of just to justify a bathroom. So he's staying there. So we are now dating, okay? That was horrifying. He was an aspiring actor. He was an aspiring industry person. Okay. This was my boyfriend, my brief boyfriend at the time, following dating Timothy Patrick Murphy. So we sort of fall in a kind of care love with each other, have a romantic evening in Malibu several weeks after we had met in Neiman Marcus. But mind you, he at that time, before I met him, slept over and was kicked out because he was gay and had AIDS, supposedly, which he didn't. He ended up going into production, aspiring actor. So you want to talk some raw meat here, allegedly from sort of a well-informed person. This is what happened to Philip McKeon, who was a brief friend of mine because I worked with him for a full week on Alice, as we all know. Okay, Slaughtered Prince scenario. Slaughtered Prince, my concept, very wide, broad, not so broad. So here is this actor, should have been actor, now ostracized because this stuff is like a cancer, living with me. So this is right at the time I am making For Keeps with Molly Ringwald. So all of this is converging while I'm shooting with Molly Ringwald, half of it in Canada. So he's very happy for me that I got the movie. Obviously, you know, probably what he wanted, what I fucking hell did not need or want, because my career had tanked at that point. That was the first legitimate good boy, nice Molly Ringwald best friend part that I had ever received since E.T. Other than that, I was punk rocker girl, boy, Freudian slip. So we are now in this dating scenario. So I meet Tim, and right before I meet Tim, because we all know Tim was my partner at 20 who passed away in my arms from AIDS, blah, blah. The reason he knew Tim is because, now get this, we discovered that both of us had dated Timothy Patrick Murphy after being boyfriends, after having to move him out because he was gay and supposedly had AIDS. Okay, we discovered we both dated him, Timothy Patrick Murphy. So then this was added to the weirdest element to being boyfriends that you can possibly imagine. And then I met Tim. And you know, one of the only people that knew Tim was this guy named David that we've been talking about. Again, he was very happy that I got the movie, and I then, in quick succession, following our sort of wrap-up care, love, boyfriendship, met Tim. And then, this is right, whatever, the marriage converged with this, and so Peter is the only one that was inconvenienced at my home because he was staying there. So I had to move him out to get David in. So there was that added fourth complication. So David ended up helping me cope with the fact that Tim was HIV positive and was sliding into AIDS over the next year and a half that we would be together. So David was the last person I dated after that whole weird Timothy Patrick Murphy discovery, David being kicked out of the Laurel Canyon address with 3 industry people that knew me, I knew them, who knew my agent, and there was horror stories about what was allegedly said about me to my agent, or within the presence of my agent. So that's what happened. He ended up being really there in the beginning for me when I met Tim. So what do you know, huh? Anyway, I hope there was enough star-studded raw meat for y'all today, because you deserve some. This is not going to be the tone or tenor of any future shows, but it cascaded on me in a moment, not just now. I thought about it last night. This is a story that I have never told anyone but my husband. So fuck it, okay? I love you. Thanks for being with me as always. I adore your cherished presence in sharing my stories or allowing me to share my stories with you. Love you all, adore you, and I will see you tomorrow with a teaser and a clip and all that good stuff. Take care.